Hello, Quotables listeners. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays from the Quotable boys. My name is Lex, and I'm joined with Ernie. How you doing, Ernie?
I'm doing well, thank you. Hello.
How are you? I'm good, man. Are you thankful to be here today?
A little bit, dude. It's crazy. I didn't think we were gonna do a Thanksgiving episode. I mean, this is kind of going into the holiday episode, but Thanksgiving is now.
Oh yeah, as we are recording this, yeah. So get your taters.
It's like, what taters?
But yeah, the movie we're doing today is Gremlins, which we were trying to figure out what kind of movie it was, and it is in fact a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. I remember I was telling him, "Is this a Christmas movie?" I haven't seen it in a very long time.
It takes place in Christmas. I mean,
yeah,
and it's pretty intense little flick if you've never seen it, but it is a classic flick. And we're just gonna chat about it, like we do. You ready?
I am. Are you ready? Yeah, dude. Honestly, I like the movie a lot, but I don't know. Like, I feel like right now I'm out of whack. I stayed up a little late, and I'm just like, dude, it's because well, you guys know I have a daughter now, and she's like the reverse gremlin. So like, I have to feed her after midnight. So she has me awake all night. But I'm ready, dude. Let's get going, dude.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So Gremlins. So it opens up pretty scary. I mean, it's all mysterious. And honestly, I thought the guy, Rand Peltzer is the dad's name. I thought he was like a detective. Like the way they're making it seem like it was kind of like a little
very noir.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
It's all, I don't even know that song. He's who hasn't got a good story? He's well, nobody got a story like this one. No,
I met a girl. Like a noir, those noir like detective movies are all, I met a girl and she died.
And they're like in their little office with their little, the door has their name on it, like Private Eye.
Private Eye, yeah.
This isn't that.
Dude. And then he meets this like Asian boy named John. Is played by John Louis. And his name is literally Chinese boy.
Oh,
that's his name. He has no.
Damn, I should have said his name was John Louis.
I know. I don't know why they don't call it like what his name was or something. I mean, that's a sweet name, but yeah, Chinese boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then even his grandfather that you meet later, his name is just grandfather.
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't mean anything in the story, I guess. But going back to the little story, I like the way the setting was in the beginning. Like I said, I hadn't seen it in such a long time. So watching the beginning, I was like, oh, this is weird. I don't remember it being like this. I remember it being way different. And then it starts to slowly pick up, and then like 18 minutes in is when you get to finally see.
Yeah,
Gizmo.
Yeah, so basically he's shopping for his son, and he's like this not a big time inventor. He just invents a bunch of stuff, and he's trying to get things out.
I think he's out.
He's trying to sell his product.
He's out there trying to sell. Yeah.
I forgot what it's the bathroom buddy he's trying to sell.
It's a bathroom
like a
buddy,
shaving, a toilet paper, a bidet. I don't even know, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, they go to the little shop, and he's he's talking. He says like, "Oh, in case you got a bad case of the dragon breath," and you hear a but the old man doesn't look amused. And then you hear,
he has a little dragon, a golden dragon, or it looks like a centerpiece kind of thing.
And then he hears a little singing in the background. It's a cute little song, and it's a Mogwai, which is a little creature. We'll name Gizmo later. But he's looking for his son, and it's weird. It was weird to me because he's like. He goes, so this is exactly what I've been looking for my son. It's like, what? Like, why don't you just get him a dog at that point? Like, I don't know.
Well, he has a dog, right?
That's true.
I don't know. I honestly thought, for some reason, I don't remember. We'll get into it, but I didn't know that because I put on the subtitles. I didn't know that Gizmo or the Gremlin. I didn't know they spoke. Like you can hear them verbally say stuff.
They say a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. I just thought they were going, doing little noises, but they are actually like, at some point during the movie, he goes like, light.
Oh, yeah. He's
when it's like affecting
and he goes, yeah. Like all of them start talking.
Yeah.
But it's weird. He's just like, that's exactly what I've been looking for. So like, I don't know what, like in his head, he's like, oh, I was looking. It's like in his head, he's like, I want to find this little creature. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what I've been looking for.
But he's trying to sell it to him. He's all
a freaking gremlin.
He's all, here's $100. He's all Mugwai, not for sale. And he's all $200. That's $200 right there. Poor guy. He's all comes with much responsibility. I cannot sell him at any price. But then the little kid like goes behind his back and like because he's like we need the money
because they need money.
He sells it to him secretly.
I want to say something because I don't know if they went into it in the movie. Obviously, we're gonna get to it. Spoiler alert, guys. At the end, all the gremlins get like crazy and they're killing people and they're like doing a bunch of craziness. I don't know if they're killing people. Kind of seems like they are. Because actually they kill that couple. Yeah, they kill a couple people. But yeah, so like later on down the line, all that madness happens. He says like, "Oh, they come with too much responsibility." Was he aware of that? Like, did that already had happened, and he lived it? You know what I mean? Because it kind of feels like that, right?
Possibly, yeah. I don't know.
Would make sense. I was thinking about that. I was like, well, maybe if they ever make like a prequel to this movie, it's going to be freaking grandfather taking out the gremlins with the shotgun.
Maybe. He's like, ah! But, and the little kid, though, he tells him, there's some rules. Keep him out of the light. He hates bright light, especially sunlight. It will kill him. Keep away from the water. Don't get him wet. And the most important rule you must never forget. No matter how much he cries, no matter how much he begs, never feed him after midnight. What's the song?
I goes.
Yeah, so that's the intro. He ends up getting a little guy, and we're introduced to Billy, and he's trying to get in his car, and then like his neighbor, I think what's his name, Mr. Fuddrucker? I don't even know what it is. I forget his name, but
yeah. He's has a little freaking beetle or
the tractor.
With the beetle. Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, damn foreign cars! You need American-made Kentucky Forester." And he's like, "Goddamn foreign cars!" But he's sweet though. I like that guy. But yeah, Billy's our hero, and it's funny because like when I saw this, I'm like, okay, this kid, he's older, right? But as we see later in the movie, they treat him like a little child because like, okay, he wants this gift for his son. And then later on in the movie, there's like a stocking, and you see like a little toy robot, and I'm like, "This is for Billy." Like he's like, the dude's like 19, bro, like 20 years old. Like, why is he putting?
He looks older, but I think he's like a teenager. Well, I don't know. It's weird because he works at like the freaking bank, right? Or the loan office. I think.
Yeah, around that time, I mean, younger people were able to
Everyone
work.
Works.
Yeah, and he even takes his little dog with him in the workplace, and then he has that little workplace crush. Like Phoebe Cates is her name is Kate. I didn't realize that was her until I had to look it up. But then we get an intro to our villain, I guess. No, she's not really our villain, but her name's Mrs. Deagle. And I love it. I love it because she's walking down the street, right? And it's all intense. She has like this Santa head or something like that, or snowman. And this old man, he goes, "Good morning, Mrs. Deagle." She goes, "What's good about it?" He's like, "Oh!" I was like, what?
It's just so stupid. We're talking about this before we started the podcast, but like, she kind of seems like, as she kind of keeps going through the story, like the way she talks and her mannerisms kind of sounds like the Wicked Witch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not sure if that was like what they were trying to pull off with her, or like that's like, kind of where they got. You know how like they kind of like life imitates art. Yeah. And maybe someone saw her, and that's why they're like they made the movie. Like her, whatever, exactly. You know what I mean? Something like that. But it's interesting.
Yeah, she even has her own little music. It's all evil. But, like, she goes literally... But, okay, apparently she's, like... Her husband is, like, a big... I don't know. I don't know what he is.
He owns the bank, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
I think so, because, like, at one point, like, the lady... Because more people start coming up to her.
Yeah.
And then this one lady with her kids comes up and says, "Hey, I just got a new job, and my husband has got a new job, and we're going to get paid. We're wondering if, we can, skip a payment for a bit." I'm not sure if she's a land, oh, no, you know what she does? I think she owns land or something, rather, because she gets rid of certain people. And then she's trying to get rid of, oh my God, I don't know, but the girl has him sign a petition. Do you recall this, Kate?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I forget what it's for, but, she's trying to take it down. So I'm assuming she owns, like, property.
Yeah, and
so maybe that's what she...
Oh, I don't even know if it's her. It's just her husband, and she's just like, she's just she's just like the face of the business. I don't know. But she comes into, and then she feels all bad, or she doesn't even say anything to that lady. She's like, "That's too bad," and she has her little kids, and like they leave, and they're like, "Mom, we're hungry," and she's like, "I know, me too." It's like, I'm like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah, it's like really sad. It's like one of those freaking Mr. Scrooge, kind
of. But then she like brings that snowman in just to show Billy that his dog broke it. She's like, "I don't want your money. I want your dog. I'll take him to the kennel. They'll put him to sleep faster and painless than what I would do to him." And she's like,
what were you gonna do?
And she's
him?
like, I'll put him in the spin dryer in high heat. I'm like, damn, this is
that was pretty dark.
But my favorite part, because obviously, the dog gets mad and attacks her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the boss comes, Mr. Corbin. He's like, what's going on here? And then the Jared, played by Judge Reinhold, he goes, this is not a bank. This is a bank, not a pet store. And the owner goes, very good, Gerald. He's all, thank you, Mr. Corbin. And you know what I just realized? Judge Reinhold's character is barely in it. Like, I thought, like, now.
No, he just comes out in like the beginning.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, like, I thought they were going to show, because, they show all the people that are, like, mean. Like, they get what's coming later. Like, at least one later by the Gremlins, but not him, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. It's just like they made him seem like it was going to be a bigger presence in the movie, but I don't know.
I think around this time, I think he was like kind of yeah, exactly. I was about to say him and the little boy Corey Feldman,
John
right?
Louis. Oh yeah.
Corey Feldman that plays Pete in
the
film. He's like a big star. Like he's a kid. He's a child actor. He's like really big. And then like you said,
so CB Cates too, right?
Yeah, Judge Reinhold. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so they're all pretty big. So I'm assuming they're like, I got this part for you. Really easy. Just come in for a few hours.
Just say this one line, and we're gonna congratulate you.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a sweet character. I liked how he was, and then he goes like later on down the line, he meets the girl that Kate's his character, Kate. That sounds funny.
Yeah, her name's Kate.
Yeah, it's Kate. But yeah, he like tells her. What does he
I have it right when he says, "Hey mate." Hey Kate.
He's like, "Hey, have you been to my apartment?
You haven't seen my new apartment?" She's like, I haven't seen your old one. He's like, "Come on, we're talking cable." but he goes to this bar after work with Billy and like sees him, and then Kate works there or whatever, and then he's trying to slide in, but like before that he's telling Billy, he's like, come on, I'm a manager at 21, by 30 I'm gonna own the place, I'll be a millionaire. He's like, what are you doing with your life? Like I was like, huh, like is he his friend or he's just being a dick? I don't know. I feel like they had a history of like being friends.
Yeah, I think so too. I think because it sounds like in a way, he sounds like he wants to take him under his wing a little bit, but he's really not. He's like
he's kind of like, bragging, but like kind of telling him to get his crap together. I don't know.
Yeah, because the kid is not getting his stuff together. I think he's kind of like his father in a sense, like kind of a rebel. And
everyone does talk crap about his father, but also So this is back to my point, about this how old this kid is, because he's talking about how he's 21, and he's telling him to get his life together, so he's got to be older. There's no way he's young. Why would you tell like a 16-year-old hey, get your shit together? You know what I mean? Like, no, he's only 16.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, this movie takes place like in the 60s, 70s, right? Or 80s?
Oh, I mean, it was made in 84, but I don't know.
I'm not sure because I know what's his face? My God, Steven Spielberg did something in the film. I forget what it is, but he usually likes to do a lot of 60s, 70s kind of stuff because that's like his era. So I assumed that like that's where it was coming from, but maybe around that time, obviously like now kids go to school and do all that, but back in that day, kids used to go in the workforce and work their way to something. You didn't need to go to school at the time.
I don't know. It's just confusing. They're back at their home. He's with his mom, and they got that. He's like, "Can I have some eggs?" He's like, "Yeah." And it's like he has that little invention for the eggs, and they explode. The whole house just has a bunch of like little gizmos and stuff because. Kind of reminds me of like Pee-wee's house.
I know, but I mean,
these things don't work.
At least Pee-wee stuff helps.
Exactly. I mean, and right? Who knows who sold him that stuff?
Well, he made it, right?
No, that's true. That's true. And then Mr. Peltzer comes home and he's all singing, and they're all happy. They're Dad's home. Like it's they love him.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, that's great. I love the little family dynamic that they have. And then, like, for some reason, they have, like, swords next to the door. And every time they open the door, one of the swords falls. And I'll be honest with you, the first thought I had was, like, dude, that sword's going to kill the dog. And that's why they give him Gizmo. Yeah. But I was like, I was all waiting for it for some reason, but obviously.
Yeah, that was interesting choice of decorations. Yeah, so he gives him the present. He gives him Gizmo. And, he's all happy. And then he takes a picture of him, and he goes all nuts. He's like, nice little eyes. But this kind of reminds me, like, was this how Furbies were inspired?
Maybe, dude. Honestly,
because they look
very
just like
similar
a Furby.
to it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna do a little research.
But what Furby came out like the 90s, right?
That's what I'm looking at now.
So it had to have come out like later.
No, 98.
Was,
around then, 98, man.
Yeah, and this movie's
and he looks just like Gizmo.
As we said,
he looks just like Gizmo.
Yeah, just like but just like obviously, super colorful and
those
stuff.
things are
but
creepy.
That was like a big hit when like it had come out in that time. I remember like it would sell out like crazy. You know how like they have the like Jingle All the Way, the hot toy.
Yeah, Cabbage Patch Dolls.
That was that.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. It was crazy, dude.
It's funny.
That's awesome.
I had one of those.
I'm glad that you brought that back up. I totally you brought
I don't
that
know.
back.
Those things are creepy, but I had one that
You had one?
I had a Furby.
That's crazy. I never had one. I didn't think anything of them, but
His name was Fernie. That's good.
You're stupid. Now, do you remember the
Simpsons?
Yeah, the Simpsons. Thank you. What's it called?
Funzo.
Funzo. He's on with the little
Gary Coleman.
heads.
He's on the phone. Yes, Mr. President. The phone's not even connected.
He's not talking to anyone, or he's just not connected or something.
But anyway, no, he's like, hey, you're fired. He's like, what you talking about? He's like, yeah, you're good. And he's like,
he's like, you're good.
Oh, anyway.
He's like, I knew.
Anyway, let's get back to this. Yeah, but little Gizmo's like, bright light. But Gizmo's so cute. He's adorable. And then that little Pete kid comes in. He's like, can I hold him? Can I have him? And he accidentally gets him wet. And that's when he starts to sprout a little more Gizmos, but they're a little meaner and like a little more crazier. And then like that one kid's like, can I have one? He's like, no. And then like the night takes place and like they string up the dog and the lights. Like I thought
that was freaking. I thought he was gonna die like that.
They're just mischievous. Like I don't think their intentions are to kill people. Like they just do things that are gonna get people killed. If that makes sense. Because like later on we'll talk about when they do Miss Deagle's chair. They're just messing with with the wires, but they're not like, what I mean? But anyway, we'll talk about that because that part's
I
sweet.
forgot about it. Yeah, it is sweet. I totally forgot about that. She kid. Go ahead.
I forgot how this transition, but like Billy and Kate are walking together and they're talking about the holidays, but Kate's like, I really hate the holidays and we don't know why. And he's all, what are you, Hindu or something? That's right,
I know, yeah. Those again, those racy jokes.
Very
back in the day,
racy,
dude.
very racy. And then again later, I don't know how this happens too, but like I was kind of all over the place here. The drunk dude at the bar, who's the neighbor.
Oh,
and he's
that's right,
come on, how about another beer? And she's like, no, you have to go, sir. And he goes on the thing. He's all, he like blows on it because this is what. So reverse. So that's why they're walking together.
Mm-hmm, yeah, that's why they're walking. Yeah.
But like he's like drives a tractor, like that, or it's a snowplow.
It's a snowplow. Well, it's a taxi. Is what he claims it to be, but it has a snowplow in the front.
I don't know.
Because like later on, when he's getting run over, remember with his wife, he says, "That's my taxi," and he's like, "Oh yeah, gets killed."
Okay, that part was intentional. Maybe I was wrong with the Gremlins thing. That guy's sweet though. He's
he's all drunk as well.
But anyway, Billy, he wants to know more about these little guys, these Mogwai. So he takes one to the sweet ass professor. He's all, hey there.
He's smooth.
Yeah, he's very smooth.
He's very smooth guy.
But yeah, he's experimenting on them, and he's like seeing, like, he's just studying them basically, and he's eating a sandwich. And I got confused here because like the lab was showed like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. But then Billy showed before. But then you learn that his clock's busted. So he accidentally feeds them and they get into like these weird cocoons. But then the teacher also like somehow, or they just grab his sandwich, right?
Yeah.
So the next morning, like he walks in and I forgot what happens, but like he's teaching his class and they all leave. He's like, all right, kids, happy holidays. You can bring me something nice or I'll take us to the Super Bowl. Who would do that for their teacher? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they must have loved the teacher because, damn, the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, it was probably 10 cents back in the day.
Yeah, and then, that's when, Billy, like, goes, because he calls him, he's all, right, Billy, it hatched or some shit like that.
Where did he put the Gremlins? Like, where were they?
The ones that Billy had?
Yeah.
They're in a box.
They're in the, I thought they were in the attic.
I think that's his room because he's in there all the time sleeping.
Okay, it looks like an attic. Then I was like,
kind of does. Yeah, and then like the gremlin ends up like killing the teacher, I think, or something. Like they bite him, and because Billy finds him like dead, and then he has to go back to his mom, and that's when the gremlins start attacking her. That's when we're like really introduced to the gremlins.
To like the evil gremlins.
But like the mom like freaking F screws him up, man. She microwaves one, like
yeah,
blends one. I'm like, damn, bro. But they're sweet, dude. They're just causing chaos, bro. Like, and one's in the tree and like tries to attack her.
Oh,
but then that's when like she finds the stocking, like she hits the stocking, and then like you see the little toy robot, and I'm just like, that can't be for Billy. Like he's gonna play with that. But I mean, it was. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they're maybe that's like a kind of like a cutesy thing that they do as a family, because like I don't know. It just seems really odd for this like grown adult man to receive like toys like this.
I'm telling you, bro.
Like it's like this, but then again, maybe that's like that's what they were trying to pull off with all this.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't really say anything because I know people like my brother, for instance, still gets dolls.
I mean, that's cool.
Little baby
that's dope.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's sweet. I mean, dude, I used to get like I would get pop sockets. I still buy pop sockets for myself. So
pop sockets are for phones, though, right?
No, pop sockets. Oh my god, what are they
Funko
called?
Pops.
Funko Pops.
But that's like a thing for
that's
everyone.
Like a collector's thing, but still,
story.
It's like a toy.
Now that you bring that up, it's kind of funny. I had gone to a GameStop recently. I know, right? It's been years, and still smelled like sweat. But I was in there. I was looking around, and there was like this guy, older guy, kind of looked like it was like kind of a cholo little guy, but like he's like deep in a conversation with the counter lady, and they're talking about Funko Pops, that he's trying to find them. Like he's trying to find the specific one. She's like, oh, there's 2 available in like Los Angeles. And I was in like Whittier, and he's like, oh, all right. He's like, I better go. And he talks to her more. He's and they start talking. He's like, are you going to have these editions? And like, but like, it was crazy. Like super. I'm like, you would never think this guy is like into Funko Pops, but it's just interesting. I mean, I know that craze is like,
no, it's wild, bro. They I mean, it's cool to collect because they're really neat looking toys, but also like I think after a while, like if you find like really
rare ones,
like you said, there's exclusive GameStop, Amazon, Target, Walmart. There's a bunch of exclusives, Hot Topic, I think as well. And if you collect them, you can sell them for a lot of money. I think like the first Funko Pop, random little side story. I went to Comic-Con one year, San Diego. And they had a Funko Pop that was like the original. It's like their Funko Pop. It's like the company's or something. And I think it was like going for like, I think like $2,000 or something like crazy stupid. Like I was like, what the? I didn't even know that this had existed. So imagine if someone has it, like they could. That's probably
dude, for
why.
Sure. No, those things are big.
Makes sense. Yeah,
I want to get a little Gizmo one.
No, it's just sweet. I have a little Gizmo. I have a little Gizmo like box that I got from Barnes and Noble, and it has a little Gizmo. I wish I would have had it today, but that's sweet.
So yeah, the mom's getting attacked, and then Billy comes in and like kicks the gremlin into the fire, and it burns. It's like, so she like takes him to the neighbor who happens to be a doctor, and I feel like the thing in like these movies, there's always a doctor as their neighbor. I don't know, it's strange. And that's when you see the neighbor, the older dude that we met, the drunk guy who drives the tractor and the taxi, and his wife, and they end up dying by the snowplow. Mm-hmm. But he's like, what's wrong with the TV? He's like, are you messing with the damn TV? And the wife's like super happy-go-lucky. She's like, yeah, like laughing. And I don't know, but then they end up dying, which is kind of intense. I'm like, oh man, these little gremlins don't mess around.
I didn't think that they were gonna like. I think when I got to that scene, I was like, okay, they're older people. They're not gonna die. You know, it's just kind of like they're gonna get scared or they're gonna get like stuck into it. But like genuinely, you can tell that they were murdered.
That's like everyone. That's like everyone who dies in this movie are older people. The older people. Yeah, but then
it feels like it's such an old timey town. You don't see a lot of young people, right? Or at least they don't. You're
That's
not there in front of the camera.
No young bucks. Well, they're all dying from food because Miss Deagle did.
That's right.
But the Gremlins are just causing chaos all over town, and no one knows how to explain it. Billy goes to the police officers, which is a young Jonathan Banks. You haven't noticed?
Yeah.
He's sweet. He's like, he's like, you always get to drive, and he's like, because I'm the sheriff, asshole. And he's like, you're drunk. He's like, you're always drunk. Yeah, I don't know. They're just obviously they're not believing Billy's story.
No, definitely. I like him when he comes out. We didn't even talk about this when they go to the lot to get a Christmas tree.
Oh, it's like in the beginning, right?
He's like, yeah, it's in the beginning, and he's all, oh, you could spare a tree. And one of the police officers or sheriffs, and then like that kid has like he's like dressed up like a Christmas tree to sell
that's
Christmas
that
trees.
Kid, yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Oh, it is
pretty good because he comes to bring Billy their tree.
Oh, that's so right, dude. I don't know why I didn't catch that. That's so funny.
He's just randomly in the movie. You see him even fighting off gremlins too with like his slingshot. He's like ding 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 ding.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, but even that beginning part, even the tree lock guy's, I have to buy my tree just like everybody else, or like, and the guy's, God, like, damn, the cops abusing their power,
Yeah,
some things never change. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they go to investigate, the people that died, the Fundamans. I forgot their names, Futterruckers. And then we get to Miss Deagle. She's on her little like. She has that chair thing that you go on the stairs that brings her all the way down because apparently she can't walk, but yet it seems like she's always walking around causing chaos. And then the Gremlins, you hear caroling, and then she's like, "I hate carolers," and she comes out with like hot water. I don't even know what she's like. I don't know what she intends to do with these guys.
I think it was just water.
Yeah.
I think she was gonna.
And then like she goes out there, and it's the little Gremlins that are. They're so sweet, just getting down, and she freaks out, and that's when she goes back on her chair, but it malfunctions
because they mess with her. Right?
And then the thing launches, it's all it flies her out, and then like the cops pull up, and
she goes through
her
the
legs
window.
are just popping out of the snow. They're like, and then that's Miss Eagle,
and she's dead. Right?
Oh yeah, she's dead. She's definitely dead.
Yeah, she's dead.
And then the cops are like, "Let's go, I'm spooked." Like they're just. Not good officers.
I can't. They just left the girl there. I mean, the old lady.
But then they end up getting like their car flips. I think they die too, right? Because
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they're like under the car, like messing with it, and then they flip over. But dude, that's my favorite part. Miss Deagle just
yeah, it was hilarious.
It's sweet. And then the Gremlins are next. They're at the bar that Kate works at, and they're just partying, bro. Just having a good time.
And they have Kate like hostage there, just kind of like serving alcohol,
just like a regular bartender.
All the Gremlins, and then like one of them like. Has a gun. I don't know where the hell.
They're all dressed up. One's in the workout outfit. She's like,
yeah. And then there was there's one that's like he's like the cool one or whatever, and he's like smoking a cigarette.
Oh
and
yeah.
then one of them comes with the pup. Remember he comes with the puppets, and he's like,
he's all
laughing. And then he hits them with something.
And that's like the classic noir thing that we're kind of talking about. It kind of looked like he was doing that.
Yeah.
That's like the one you come to get things solved.
Yeah.
But we didn't even talk about their main leader is Stripes, which is the one that's like the little sweet little mohawk.
Right.
I don't know if he's at the bar at this time. He probably is, but
no, he's at the. Well, I don't recall, but I know he's in the movie theaters, and they tell him to go get the Milk Duds. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And then he goes to the toy store. That's
we'll come back to him. But I forget how Kate. Oh yeah. She starts taking pictures to hurt them. They're like, I start freaking out. But I love that working out one, dude.
No, yeah, it had a little legging. I think she's doing what's that movie called? Flashdance, right?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. That's not a lot of movies.
Flashdance.
But yeah,
it's like a little.
It's like a lot of like callbacks to like classic movies and stuff. Definitely.
Yeah.
Which are funny because they use it as the Gremlins and they just look ridiculous. But the Gremlins are running amok, and like Billy goes to go save, get with Kate. And then like they're on their way to like try to find and stop the Gremlins, and that's when she reveals her story about why she doesn't like Christmas. And it's a pretty dark story. She's like 9 years old. I get her dad was missing for a couple days, and it was Christmas, and her mom, they were freaking out, and then like they went to go light the fire, and then they started smelling a really weird smell. Turns out her dad was in the chimney. He was coming down as Santa Claus to surprise them with presents. But he like fell and broke his neck, and he's just been stuck in there for a couple of days. Like, God, I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what? I'm like, first of all, don't do that. I would never try to go down the chimney. Just come in through the front door.
That's funny. I didn't even recall that watching the movie again. I was like, dude, I can't believe the dad died like that. Like he died like one of the, and as messed up as it is, it's kind of funny. Like he was trying to be Santa Claus, but he went down and he freaking, did he go down like, head first?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, because he broke his neck,
but he got stuck like midway or somehow. I don't know what he did or.
No, well.
Because they didn't see him in the chimney until they lit it up and they started smelling it. So I don't. They didn't reveal.
Oh, so they burned his ass.
They started to. So it wasn't revealed how far he got down the chimney.
You're cooking, Frankie.
But yeah, I mean, so we get it. But like it's like a dad just trying to do something nice for his family and just
but still, that's like, dude, that's rough, dude.
Not a good story.
Not a great story at all, dude. I'm sorry, Kate.
Yeah, Miss Kate.
Jesus.
So they find the Gremlins at the movie theater, and I love that they're all watching Snow White, and they love it.
Snow White, yeah.
There's like dancing. There's a lot of them. Hi-ho, hi-ho. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
But it's funny how they get the projector working. They're literally destroying the thing, but then they end up getting it working somehow. Like,
I want to say something because we didn't really go into this, but there's a lot of Gremlins now because they fell into the pool. Remember?
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that's why there's so many. I mean, it's not. It's like
it's a really quick scene.
That's why there's so many. Yeah, that's why there's so many of them. Like the water's boiling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So intense.
But I like this. I like this scene because like they're all like having popcorn. They're all chilling and or whatever.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
And he's all, and then they want to go find candy, and then he's all, go get the candy or something. And then he goes, don't forget the milk duds. And then he goes to the concession stand at the theater, but they're all out of
and then
food.
he sees the candy,
so he has to go to the toy store,
Stripe.
The candy store.
Stripe.
Yeah.
So he goes.
Yeah, it's a Stripe.
He does that, and Billy and Kate want to destroy them, so they decide to light the place on fire. Which somehow that little newspaper ends up blowing the crap out of the theater, bro. Like, it just explodes. But it's funny because they turn off the movie and then they start going crazy. They're like super mad. And by the way, Gizmo was with them the whole time. He's just on a little journey watching. He's like,
he's on a little backpack.
He's so cute. He has his time to shine later. But then like they go into the candy store, and this one they had the final showdown, and like Stripe's on the little skateboard, then he's on the little bike. He's like, he's on the TVs. He's like he's just taunting this guy, and then he like has the chainsaw to try to kill Billy. Like, but then Gizmo gets in that sweet little car. He's like,
yeah, that's right.
And even the dog comes, and like the dog like jumps off. Like, just a lot of stuff is going on.
Yeah.
And then like the dad's like kind of coming back. Oh, and I forgot to even mention the dad. He doesn't really know what's going on. He's like out of town for this invention convention.
Dang. I did.
And obviously it's not working out well. But he like gives like a cigarette one to this guy that I guess ends up doing pretty well like later.
Yeah.
But he's trying to come back, and it's funny because like so earlier in the movie someone was listening to the radio, Rockin' Ricky. And you can hear in the background the Gremlins are coming in to like, get them destroy their studio. So like later on when the dad's driving, he goes, "It's been a rough night for Rockin' Ricky, but we're still in the air." Like, I don't know if you caught that.
I want to say something about Rockin' Ricky, bro. In the beginning of the film, like they pan out and the poster is Indiana Jones, but it's Rockin' Ricky.
Oh yes.
You remember that? You recall that? And it throw back to that stuff. But I thought that was freaking sweet. It's like it's all Rockin' Ricky and it's his face.
It's just pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so he's trying to find out what's going on. The town, of course, is like exploded or like just run down. So back to the little showdown. Stripe somehow has a gun, and he's like holding on to the water fountain. He's like shooting, like he's about to jump in, but then Gizmo flies in his car. He's all, oh! And he like opens the skylight, and then ends up toasting Stripe. And he ends up melting and just all nasty. And then he does one little less scary. He's like, and then he just falls and he's dead. And then it's like,
Christmas time.
So the family, they're all together. They're all nice and chilling. And then the old man comes, the one that sold him Mogwai. He's all, "You teach him to watch TV." He's all pissed off, but like he's telling him, he's basically just telling him like, "Oh, nature's gifts. You didn't understand. You are not ready." Like, he's not ready to basically have this responsibility of the Mogwai. Mm-hmm. So he takes him, and he's all sad. And he's like, "Gizmo has last words for you." He's all, "Gizmo can talk? You can understand him?" He's all, "To hear, one only has to listen." He's all, and he goes back in his little cage. So all is right.
What about the $200?
Exactly. And then Rand has his little last words. "Look under all your beds, because you can never quite tell. There might just be a gremlin in your house." And he goes, "Ding, ding, 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 ding." And that sets up the sequel, Gremlins 2, which I have not seen. I don't know if you've...
That's the one with the one that people said that there's like a girl one, right?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen the second one. I don't recall
it's probably not as good, but... I mean, I wonder if Billy makes it way back.
I think Key and Peele, or Key and Peele, I don't know if you know who
I do.
Yeah, so they did like a skit of like them writing the script for Gremlins 2, like a jokingly, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna do a girl Gremlin." It's not like, but they make it sound so stupid funny, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is the movie." So I'm assuming it's probably a little bit more sillier, maybe for our next What the Halloween next year. We'll check that
out. Yeah, dude, this is an interesting film. I mean, Gremlins is a lot of fun, I think. I really enjoyed it. It's been a very long time since I've seen it, so like I'm watching it again. I was like, damn, like I don't even remember half of this stuff. But I loved it. I mean, I laughed. I thought it was cute. The Gremlins just cracked me up, you know. That's a little more funnier than I thought was scary, but I'm sure like oh, that's weird. I was just looking at pictures for the Gremlins 2, and the old couple that dies of the plow are in it.
Oh, really? No
so I
way.
wonder if it's like I wonder if it's a
survived.
prequel, but it says no. The Gremlins are back, and this time they've taken control of the New York City scrub. Anyway,
yeah, they take control of like a big old office. I think.
I want answers, so maybe I'll check it out. Gremlins 3, Dawn of Desmond. What is this? That's right.
Well,
Gizmo becomes a gremlin who teaches the other gremlins about democracy and philosophy. They develop a country and they call it Gremlin Nation. Is this real?
Is this real?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Is this on IMDb? Is this?
Yeah, but it doesn't really look like much is going on in this. Like this, you don't even see like people's like face. Oh no.
I think that's fake, bro.
Yeah, it's got to be. Also, he has a kid with a human woman played by Jennifer Aniston. This is probably a joke or something. I don't know. Anyway.
Damn, that sounds interesting.
It does sound very interesting. Anyway, Ernie, what do you think about this film? Do you recommend?
I mean, this is I don't know. This isn't a rewind, but I definitely recommend watching. I enjoyed the movie. I hadn't seen it in a very long time. I used to love watching the movie. I used to love Gizmo. Like I used to always send like where I used to call them Gizmojis, where I used to just get images of Gizmo that I had like sad for throughout the whole film, only the first one, and I would send them out as like instead of replies, like with like gifts back in the day.
That's funny.
Right? Remember that when I
do.
first? Yeah, and I have always loved that, but I never like it wasn't like a thing that I would watch constantly every year, but it was a thing that I used to watch as a kid a lot. But rewatching it again, it was a treat, dude. I was like, dang, I haven't seen this movie. It's sweet, it's cute. Watching it, I was like, I didn't think it was gonna be a horror movie. Like, I didn't think all this dark stuff was gonna, take place.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, like when like the couple dies, like when what's her Mrs. Furberger? What is?
I don't even know what their names are.
Whatever, the lady that flies. What's her name again?
Miss,
oh my god,
Deagle.
So when she flies, that was hilarious. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. I was watching it with I saw it by myself. I downloaded it on my HBO app, and then I saw it again with my wife, just to kind of like get a little refresher. And dude, oh my god, my wife and me were like laughing at that scene. So it's definitely a good one to enjoy with other people. So
Mr. Futterman is their names. That's the neighbors.
What did you said?
I couldn't think of it. I was
Isn't
close.
That the burgers?
Yeah, it is. That's good. That's an interesting take. I mean, I would have to say I think I'm going to add this to a rotation of my movies. Not every year, but like I'll watch it again because I think it's a funny, lighthearted fun. I think. I mean, I don't think it's very much a horror movie. It is dark. I could see I was definitely probably scared of this when I first saw it, but now I was just laughing the whole time, having a rockin' Ricky of a time.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't even know that this was supposed to be a horror film. Like that's what it says.
I mean, I think so. It's got some pretty creepy things going on in it. But I think it's mostly played for laughs.
Definitely one of those satire comedies, like very, of its time, and it makes fun of itself for being self-aware. Like obviously like Indiana Jones and like the Flashdance movie or whatever that have you. So
yeah,
continue.
No. I mean, good stuff. I mean, I do want a little gizmo now. I'm kidding.
Yeah, you have me.
But yeah, that wraps up the Gremlins. I would say I love it for me. But I would rewind it occasionally. I definitely want to check out the second one eventually. See what all the hype's about. Maybe even that third one. No,
yeah, I think if that third one isn't made, we should.
Yeah, you're right. The Nation. But that's
look out for that.
Any closing thoughts, Ernie?
No, as always, I would like to thank the audience for tuning in every week. This is a special episode, Thanksgiving, so definitely want to thank you guys and thank Lex here for always being part of the podcast and always bringing that A game quality.
I try.
Podcast. Yeah, I try, master. But yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. Boy, very well said. I would also like to thank all the listeners, the people at home, for the support and love. Support Ernie for always showing up as well. Even though he has a child, I know it's harder, but I'll be patient.
This guy texts me or messaged me. He's like, "The world revolves around you, huh?" I was like, "It's not me. It revolves around the baby."
It's funny because like you say you take longer to set up because you have the baby, but you still took long even without the baby.
I know. I am the baby, is what I'm saying.
Not the mama. But
it's what is it?
But happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We will be beginning our holiday films for the next upcoming month. So we're excited for that. Stick around.
Definitely, I'm very excited for that.
Stick around, keep listening, and we'll get back to you. Again, we are the Quotables boys. I am Lex.
And I am Ernie.
Have a good one. Bye.